The boy was afraid to be seen. By Atlanna Healing. The fear behind the curtain. He never wanted to be invisible, but being fully seen, that felt just as terrifying. So he stayed somewhere in the middle, just visible enough to be liked, just hidden enough to stay safe. Because somewhere along the way, he learned that being his full self came with risk. That honesty could invite shame. That softness could be mocked. That joy could be too loud. That sadness could make others uncomfortable. And so, bit by bit, he began to disappear. The pieces he hid. He hid the part of him that felt too sensitive. The part that cried easily. The part that asked too many questions. The part that felt deeply, sometimes too deeply. He learned to smile when confused, to nod when hurting, to be agreeable even when his soul disagreed. He didn't want to make others uncomfortable, so he shrank. He dimmed his light. He put on a version of himself that he thought would be more accepted. And everyone said, "You're so easy to be around." But no one said, "I see the real you." They never did. The wound of being misunderstood. He often walked away from conversations feeling emptier than when they began. Not because people were cruel, but because they didn't really get him. They only saw the surface, and he let them. He smiled and gave answers that were safe. He hid his opinions, his questions, his dreams. He made sure he didn't take up too much space. Because the fear whispered, if they see too much, they'll leave. If they see all of me, it'll be too much. And he believed it. For a long, long time. When love tried to look deeper. Then one day, love knocked. But not the kind that applauded his performance. The kind that stayed when he fell silent. The kind that didn't fill awkward pauses. The kind that said, "You don't have to impress me. I just want to know you." And that terrified him. Because if he took off the mask, would he still be wanted? Would he still be chosen? Would anyone even recognize the real him anymore? It was easier to be who others expected. But something inside was yearning, aching, whispering, "Please, let someone see me." The boy in the shadow. He closed his eyes and saw him. The boy standing at the edge of the room. Quiet, curious, soft-spoken, overflowing with feelings, but no one ever invited him in, not really. They liked the boy who could perform, achieve, please. Not the boy who was still figuring himself out. And he knelt beside that child and whispered, "You don't have to hide anymore. You don't have to be smaller to be accepted. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be seen." And the boy, after so many years of shrinking, finally looked up, becoming visible. He began to show up differently. At first, just a little. He shared opinions without checking if they were popular. He said, "No," when he didn't want to say yes. And slowly people responded. The ones who were meant to stay did. Not because he was useful or agreeable, but because he was authentic. He learned that true connection only comes through real presence, and that he didn't need everyone to love him, just those who could truly see him. To every man who feared being seen, this is for the boy who kept dimming his own light, to make others comfortable. The boy who thought love meant being less. The boy who got so good at pretending, he nearly forgot who he really was. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to hide your feelings to be respected. You don't have to abandon yourself to be chosen. You are not too much. You are not too emotional. You are not wrong for wanting to be known. Let yourself be seen. Not the version you built to survive, but the soul that's been longing to shine. Whisper to the boy within. You are allowed to be fully seen. You don't have to hide anymore. Your presence is not a problem. It's a gift. From the series, An Inner Child Healing Series. by Atlanna Healing. For the hidden ones, for the sensitive ones, for the ones who've longed to be seen and loved exactly as they are. This is your healing. This is your emergence. This is your moment to stand in your light and stay.